500 Doors, your real estate podcast. Speaking with industry experts in real estate buying, selling, planning, developing, wholesaling, investing, financing, management. If it's real estate, we're talking about it. I'm your host, Kim Hayden, an award-winning 6- and 7-figure real estate agent with over 2 decades of experience. Understanding real estate is a dream for many, that we, real estate professionals, have the ability to bring that dream to reality while building better communities and being the change we want to see. Burton Kelso is an entrepreneur. He is a national speaker and a TV tech expert. His vision is to remove the frustration and complexity of computers and technology and open people to a world of new ideas, experiences, and opportunities. He loves technology. He's read all the manuals and he's serious about making technology fun, safe, and easy to use for everyone, even the 67% of females sitting out there at 52 years of age working to serve their community. Let's bring Burton in. Hello, Burton. I love
Hey,
your background is awesome. And
thank
that's your
you.
actual office, or is that a green, is that a background, or is that your office?
No, it's real. It's
I
real.
love it.
And it's got
See,
quite a bit of stuff.
well, you know
Kim, I
what,
was going
Burton?
to say real quick, I need to take you with me whenever I speak and have you read my bio. That was beautiful. Almost brought tears to my eyes. I was like, oh man, ooh.
It is my, you know what, Burton? I know total geekdom here. It is my absolute favorite thing to do on this earth
Is to
is
read
to
bios?
read people's bios,
Yes.
because for a moment in time, I get to walk behind the superstar and put the cape on and shine the light on. So thank you. Your bio, and you made it so easy to read it. There wasn't any really big words in there. I
If I
am just a Kansas girl, right? Kansas from a trailer park, folks. So, the big words sometimes can confound me. Just saying.
Well, I understand you because we're neighbors with me being in Missouri. So I think I'm actually only 3 hours from your birthplace,
Whereabouts are you?
Kansas City,
Oh, I
Missouri.
love Kansas City. We just wrote, did you see we put out a full article in the last magazine that goes with, by the way, if you're listening to this, we do have a 500 Doors real estate magazine where we're featuring different cities around the United States and Canada and great agents and great real estate partners. So if you don't have it already, do reach out to me. But we just did a full feature on Kansas City. And most people don't know this. We all think of barbecue sauce and baseball, but the
Hmm.
reality is Kansas City is actually known for its fountains.
Oh
That
yes,
is
yeah, the
the
city of
craziest
fountains.
thing. A city of
Yeah.
fountains.
Hmm.
So it's amazing. My husband's never been to Kansas City. Now it's on his bucket list. I know. I know. Well, we from Calgary. I'll tell you how we go, because Wichita get dry. People don't judge. No judging. Um, it's really hard to get into Wichita. It's like 3 flights. I have to, like, get all these different connectors, and either I'm gonna go all the way to Texas, or I'm gonna get stuck in a snowstorm in Colorado, or I go to Chicago and get lost in their airport. So I drive. I drive. I drive 24 hours. It's literally 3 highways between my house and my mom's house.
Right.
Not joking. I am not joking. Soon as I exit the city of Calgary, I literally am heading south straight to Cheyenne, and I can either loop through Nebraska, or I head straight to Denver and I cut straight across and then I head south. It's literally, it's like south, left, south. My mom's only like 5 blocks off the main highway that drives me right into Wichita.
Oh,
So
that's too funny.
so I'm gonna take him to Kansas City. That's on our bucket list this summer. Is to summer, fall, probably fall, because he's Canadian. He'll probably melt in the summer.
Probably, yes. Yeah,
All right.
we're getting a new airport, Kim. So that'll be more of a reason
Ooh.
to come to Kansas City.
I
Yeah.
bet you we'll end up with direct flights. We got a new airport here in Calgary about 4 years ago, and we can actually now we have a huge international airport. It's absolutely gorgeous,
Mhm.
and we can land those big jumbo jets, the big Airbuses now.
Right.
Um, and that new airport opened up our access to the world. But folks, we're digressing. So everybody knows now this fall you can find me. Maybe I'll do a show there.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I can have a show there, women
Right.
in technology. It'll be an entire comedy. We'll just like totally just, rip it. Nothing planned, folks. Okay, Burton, who are you? We know you're in Kansas City. We know you have the same kind of great taste that I do with my background as the wallpaper brick wall. I love
Right.
it. And I wish I had my glasses with me because I've got all these big, crazy, cool cat eye glasses.
Mhm.
But I want you to share with us who you are. Who is Burton that lends himself so well to what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a go-giver, and which is why I started my technology services company because I like helping people out, especially when it comes to technology. I'm not necessarily a geek or nerd because the last thing I want to do is play with computers. But at the same time, I realize that people struggle with technology. So I'm more than happy to go in and help people get the most out of the technology devices they use at home and at work. So I really just like helping people out. And, my goal is to just make sure that everybody is able to use technology to the fullest because we know that these tech companies don't necessarily make that happen. And it's good when people can have an expert like myself who's able to talk in everyday terms and help people demystify the challenges that go along with technology.
That okay, so let's go into a bit deeper of what you do, and let's bring out some of the terms that we are seeing that tend to um, uh, uh, throw people off, like tech stacks, right? So when we talk about tech stacks, and this is something that all real estate agents need to be understand the term and what it means to their business because it's real estate's not what it was when 1999. I mean, people still need shelter. People still buy and sell. The essential of serving your client is the same as 1999. However, I was a late adopter to a CRM because I didn't understand what the heck a CRM is. What's wrong with my? I had these really great folders I designed in like 1999, 2000, and everybody wanted my design because it was so smart. It tracked everything. So let's talk tech stacks. Where are we at with real estate agents, and how do you get them to transition their frustration from the hardware they have to understanding the software or the applications they need to use?
Well, I like how you threw that term tech stacks out. I'm like, what the heck is that? I can throw out like a good term of supply chain, which is basically the back end of what is going on with your data. So for example, Amazon may use a supply chain, meaning a third party vendor in order to utilize stuff. A good example of supply chain would be if you were to use Act online as your CRM or your contact resource manager or contact management system. And what happens if with Act if they get hacked and all of your contacts are gone? And Act says, well, that wasn't us. That was XYZ company who's actually controlling your data. And that is a problem that happens with cybersecurity all the time, especially in the real estate industry. So you have to understand that not necessarily Act or even Salesforce as your contact management system is controlling that data. That there may be somebody behind the curtain that's actually doing it. So as real estate agents, you definitely need to find out where your data is because if you suffer a data breach or if Salesforce or Act suffers a data breach, how are you going to resolve that problem and how are you going to resolve that with your buyers and sellers?
And
So Kim,
privacy.
enlighten me. Tech stack.
Tech Oh! Tech stack is basically the stack of technology you need in order to make your job. So, for example, I have a tech stack for my podcasting. My tech stack comprises of Calendly for all the booking,
Oh
Google
my
Docs for
goodness.
my intake, Restream for my delivery, Capshow for my rendering, Shotcut for guys. I can keep going. I literally have
Or
9 different
or
technology.
Hootsuite for your social media management system. Not that you use it, but yes. So
Yes, so that's your tech stack. What
this
is your
is
tech stack? And
this
I
is
think that's we're all looking for the unicorn, and
this is
there
the
is no
challenge that I
unicorn.
deal with as being a non-techie thinker guy. I rarely use terms like that. Like,
Oh,
yeah. Like, for
I
example, if someone has a solid state hard drive, tech guys may use SSD or HDD for hard drive. So I like blow all that out and like, what the heck is that? Because the people that I deal with on a daily basis are non-tech people. They just want their stuff to work.
okay.
So a lot of that tech stuff is like, whoa, because I don't talk in those terms. It's just,
Oh, and you
yeah.
know what? Those terms can actually make people feel uncomfortable. Martech was one that was thrown at me the other day because Martech is the merging of marketing and technology. And I know Google has a job open if anybody is a Martech specialist. I think it's
Oh,
like
that's too
130K.
funny.
Just saying, just saying.
Too funny.
Came by my LinkedIn. You're
Right.
qualified for this Martech position. So I'm online. What is Martech? Okay.
Well, Kim,
Um,
I'll say this real quick. So, as far as realtors' tech stack is concerned, one of the major things that realtors need to take in consideration is to make sure that you work with the tech stack that works best with you. Because a lot
yeah.
of let's take Apple versus Windows. A lot of agents will use Windows and be convinced, well, you need to move to an Apple platform. No, stick with what you know
Thank
and
you.
then just roll with it because it's all the same. Apple, iPhone's the same as an Android. Windows and Mac are similar, but if you're more familiar with one platform versus the other one, stick with it. Don't switch.
Exactly. My entire family, not my husband, because he's older than I am. And he's like, I don't want to touch an Apple. But my son's trying to get me to move over. And everybody keeps telling me that Apple's going to be better because I actually have to create a mobile podcast suite because I'm going to be on the road and I'm not stopping this. So, and they're going, well, you have to switch to Apple in order to do that. And it's like, I don't even know where to start.
You don't. Don't you do it. Don't you
I
do
mean,
it.
I'm at the point now where I can actually figure out how to use my HubSpot or hotspot if need be. Okay, so let's then walk in. The biggest challenge I think a lot of real estate agents have is everybody is selling them programs to make more leads, to serve their clients better, to do all this. And yet it doesn't seem that there's anybody that can help us migrate, apply, or leverage, and everything is an online video. Everything is which honestly is not intuitive for a lot of people. I am not an online learner. My son, who is 25, is an online learner. I'm not. What are some of In order to serve real estate agents, what are some of the CRMs or the basic tools that you've seen that have really outperformed others in being intuitive or having support systems for real estate agents?
I think the first thing you have to look at as far as CRMs is it easy for you to understand? I think the best thing to do is to look at it. And if you understand it off the bat, then that's what you need to roll with. Because believe it or not, Kim, it's not as robust as a CRM as others out there. But Google Workspace, the contact management system in Google Workspace, is an awesome CRM. It offers, number one, you can keep track of who you emailed. Number two, you can keep track of who you had appointments with the Google Calendar virtually or in real life as far as those appointments are concerned. Now, you don't get I'm not really sure if with Google Voice, if you get to see when you've contacted that person, but that's a good possibility because I know a lot of people with CRMs will look at, well, how many times did I call this person? But for a lot of agents, if you're starting out, you might want to look in the Google Workspace, $6 a month. Definitely gives you the basic settings of looking at who you emailed, because a lot of us email people day and day, and then a lot of us set appointments with certain contacts. So you can look at a glance by looking at a contact to see who you've emailed and see who you've actually set appointments with. So I always say start small. Now we all
Yep.
know the king of the CRMs is Salesforce, and for a lot of people, that ain't doing it. And another one that you can look at for a CRM would either be HubSpot or even Zoho CRM, which integrates with your Google. But always start small, because I think a lot of people think of industry standards and go, "Oh yeah, I definitely need to go with a Salesforce," but that may not be what you need. So always start small.
Well, and I will stake my 10 years of number one real estate agent, the $6.5 million in GCI that I generated off of my brand, I will stake all of that and say very clearly and unequivocally, you do not have to have all of the big, giant, robust, five and $600 a month CRMs and platforms in order to achieve a solid six figures. I'm just telling you flat out. When the National Association of Realtors did a survey and found that 70% of the top 1% of the real estate agents do the majority of their business in their own backyard. You don't need a big fancy CRM in order that's like a bunt cake is a bunt cake because you put it in the pan, but it tastes as good if you just put it in a flat pan and call it a coffee cake. Seriously, folks.
Wow, that's
So
that's huge.
but
That's
that's literally what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an industry that says you have to have this, and a lot, and you see a lot of the top people who are pitching, selling, or promoting. They haven't even personally ever sold a house,
no,
right? We're
right.
seeing this, and I'm telling you, as somebody who has sold over 1,500, close to 1,600 transactions, but it's about 400 of those were relocation. They were not actually. They were, so let's say 1,200 real estate transactions, 1,200 homeowners, and to be very truthful, folks, I did it without a CRM
That's oh my gosh, I'm glad you're saying that. And I love
because
the
I did it with a Google Excel spreadsheet, two client parties, a community party. But you know what I did know? I knew how many conversations I had to have.
right.
Every week, I knew I had to have 32 conversations in order to close 65 transactions. How am
Yeah,
I having those conversations? And I think we get so lost in all these shiny objects and the gadgets out there that we are not doing the business. I do not believe real estate agents are choosing to work 35 hours a week and make less than 70,000 a year. I believe they just don't know what to apply the time to. They're so busy banging their head against the next greatest. Now, here's the truth, folks. CRM, if you're technically astute, you can get to the eight figures. Period, point blank. You want to work the phones, you want to work the leads, you want to do all that, you want to build a team, absolutely. But if you just want to make a solid six figures, support your family and support your family or your community and be a go giver,
that
my Google spreadsheet.
you need to
That's
Kim, you just need to do a mic drop on that. You should have had a spare microphone when you said you don't need all those shiny objects, because we see it all the time. People over purchase technology and then they're stuck and then they're frustrated,
yep,
they're crying, they're ready to hang themselves in the basement. And it's like you don't have to be there. And the challenge with tech guys and tech salespeople love selling you those shiny toys. They love selling it because a lot of tech guys like working on that stuff. Me, I'm like, what do you want to accomplish?
yep.
And let's make that happen.
And real estate is still around the conversation.
It is.
Now, again, I'm going to clarify this. Depending on the type of real estate you're doing, if you are right now in commercial real estate and you're looking at the transition of commercial to residential and you're doing all of this and your clientele is all across the world, you are going to need a pretty solid CRM in order to track that. However, if you are doing business where just so you know, folks, statistically in the United States, um, a person who's shifting up or down within a community will move within 10 minutes of their current residence that you're selling. That's just a statistical average. So if you're working a community and you're showing up daily, you know, and you have it in Google spreadsheet and have it on most of the real estate boards have a basic CRM that's free. Most of the real estate boards, that's part of being part of a real estate board is here's your free CRM. I know we have one here in Calgary. Those will do enough of a job to know when your Popeyes have to go out in your client party and when you that soccer team that your softball team you're sponsoring when they're playing next. It's enough. It's
Preach,
enough.
preach, Kim. Amen, sister.
Like I said, there's different types of real estate agents. There's different types of communities. Right now, I am speaking to the large percentage of real estate agents which were deemed an essential service during the pandemic, and that's because they're community leaders, they're community networkers, they're community providers. So, let's go into what is your number one thing that you get called out on? That people say, "Oh my God, Burton, please help me."
Cybersecurity is the biggest thing right now, especially in the real estate industry. Um, I have to say this, Kim. Cybercrime is a human problem. If you've been scammed, hacked, unfortunately, it's because of your misunderstanding of how technology works. Cyber criminals are working more towards what's called social engineering, which means that they are creating scams to trick people in order to give out their information. So that's why you're seeing a large percentage of social media accounts being hacked or cloned. That's why you're seeing a large amount of phishing scams, which come in either phone, email, or via text message, because human is the weak side of tech. You've got firewalls, you've got antivirus, you've got all of these protections to keep you safe. But all it takes, Kim, is one click of the button, to get yourself in trouble. And so real estate professionals need to understand you've got to educate and understand that if you see something that looks too good to be true, if you're working with a buyer or seller and they're getting an email, you basically need to take a step back, read it, comprehend it, and make sure that it really makes sense. And if you're really unsure, whoever sent the correspondence, call them to find out if it was them that actually sent the message. Because, like you said, real estate is human minded. So pick up the phone and call somebody. Don't, I hate to use this term, don't suffer in silence. Ask, ask, find a tech guru, someone who knows about it, and ask, and don't get scammed.
The interesting you talked about social media because real estate agents, whether or not we want to be there, you have to be on social media. That
Yeah.
is that is your front face. That is what people see you, and you can fight it like I have. I love a red carpet. I love doing TV shows. I love doing this. I don't really. I'm not a great interface with social media. It's not. I like this type of interaction. Got a great message. I had an interesting message, and I think this taps into the number one trait when they did personality profiles of real estate agents. The number one was narcissism. So, so I think we're ideal to say, "Oh my God, you're amazing! Just click here and call me," or you know.
Hmm.
So I got this message through Instagram from a influencer in our city, um, and I get this message. It's like, why is she reaching out to me? I'm not really a friend of hers. I'm not part of the crew. I trust me. I am nowhere near an influencer level. Uh, I know everybody wants to see my six pack, but it's in the fridge. I can't show it to you. But so I get this message and I'm just about to click it because it says, "Help me, I've been hacked." So she was asking my help. And she's like this huge person in my city. And I'm going, "Oh, she sees me. I want to be of help." So amazing psychology. So what I did was instead of clicking the "I'll send you the code," which I later found out was actually a ploy to get into my account, I messaged them and said, interesting. I'm not really one of her friends. Can you tell me why? Or I'm not really one of your friends. Can you tell me why you would ask me to do this? What about these people? Right? You're real friends. Nothing back. Dead air. Obviously a hack. What does a hacker have to gain by getting control of my Instagram account?
You know, your
No.
followers, your followers, because it's a numbers game. So it's like if I were to get a hold of your social media account, maybe you boost your post and your credit card information is laying in your social media account. I can get access to that. If I'm a criminal, I also, like I said, I want access to your followers to be able to influence more people to click on links because it's all a numbers game. Because if I get access to yours and get access to your friends, then that means I get access to even more people with my scam and more credit card information. So that's the that's the end game. I also got a message from a popular real estate rock star wanting to sell me Bitcoin. And I was never a fan of Bitcoin, so I didn't jump on it. And I hate being
What?
sold.
No. What was that? THX? You weren't on the island,
No.
dude. Did you watch the documentary? Sorry, I digress, folks. We'll do another show. Burton and I are going to totally pull that apart, tear it apart, right? But keep going. So
Yeah,
they wanted to sell you Bitcoin.
right. But I knew it was a scam because of the link and just the questions that were asked. It wasn't the personality of this person that, that had messaged me. So again, you definitely have to think before you click and make sure that if you get messages that don't fit the personality of the individual that is messaging you, call them or just email them and say, "Hey, I got this from you." Take a screenshot and say, "Is this you?" And then go from there. But so many of us, like you and I, we have this rock star reach out and we're like, "Oh,
I know.
yay!
I,
I'm
I, w-
cool."
I will tell you, if Brad Pitt does reach out, I'm clicking the link. I don't care. I don't care. It's funny because in our social media, we see the numbers climbing, but I swear half of them have to be bots, people trolling. Like I look at it and go, well, who is this person and why is this person? And I go look at their account and they've got like 12 people following them. So is there any way that we, aside from, think before you click kind of thing, what are some other things that we can do within our online presence, within our social media engagement, within the tech that we're implementing, within the tools we're utilizing? What else can we do to protect ourselves and thus protect our clients?
So the first thing real estate agents have to realize is that if you're a real estate professional or an agent, you are a basically a public figure. So the first thing I would recommend, even though you may hate social media, claim all of your social media accounts. It doesn't matter if you're just using Instagram and Facebook. Go in and set up that TikTok. Go in and set up that LinkedIn profile so that cyber criminals can't go in and duplicate your account and start sending out bad messages under your real estate brand name. The next thing that professionals can do or real estate professionals can do is to set up two-factor or two-step authentication. This means that you need two forms of verification to log into your online accounts. The first one obviously is your password, and the second is your second authorization that will show up as a text message on your smartphone. Now, Kim, agents are going to hate this, but my third tip is quit giving out your mobile phone number. And here's why. Because criminals, if they get your mobile phone number, can commit what's called SIM card fraud, which means that they can commandeer or take over your cellular account. Can you imagine waking up one day and your phone isn't ringing as a real estate professional, only to find out that Amir, we'll just make up a name, is calling your buyers and sellers and trying to sell them Bitcoin, and there's nothing you can do about it. So instead, set up a Google Voice number or WhatsApp number and make that your real estate phone number. Start the transition, because if a criminal gets a hold of your mobile number, they can get a hold of your mobile account. They can buy new equipment. They can scam all of your buyers and sellers, and you don't want that to happen. And then finally, one last thing, stop using passwords. Use passphrases instead for all of your online accounts. Kim, a passphrase is two unrelated words that make up a password. So, for example, for us, we could probably use Calgary, Kansas 2024 exclamation point. Or we could use Purple Wichita, 2019, or maybe even Orange, Missouri 2012 exclamation point. But passphrases are easy to remember and they're harder for criminals to guess because you're using words that aren't related to your real estate brand.
So flying monkeys and chasing squirrels probably would not be good passphrases, but those are easy to remember for me.
You could do chasing monkeys.
Chasing monkeys, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Chasing monkeys or raising monkeys, because I think I did that. I got 3 of them. I love them all dearly, but oh my god. Um, the phone number is interesting because I will tell you, I see on a lot of people's link tree their phone number. I don't put my personal phone number. It's in my signature, my email, but now you even have me rethinking that. I have to get people's personal phone numbers in case I have a tech issue. But I don't have my phone number. My phone number is not on my contact form on my website. It's not on my link tree because I can't say no. If somebody calls me, they may be selling Bitcoin, but we're going to have a half hour conversation around it, and I don't have a half hour to give to people. So
Right.
my husband's like, "Who are you talking to?" And it's like, "It's my new best friend. It's Bob. I can't understand anything Bob is saying, but he's got a deal for me."
Yeah,
So,
the mobile number thing is huge
mm,
because most agents hand out their mobile phone because it's
yep,
that I they can quickly get a hold of me, but you don't want to do it. Maybe 5 years ago, yeah, but
yeah,
not today's age.
and mobile phone numbers have changed since I've come in the business because in 1999 we had pagers and the mobile phones did not house a 1950s defense department technology in it, right?
Right.
From my phone I literally can go in, and I have done this, folks. I'm so proud of myself. I'm just letting you guys know this. Literally can go into my Google Drive, pull a file, get the information on the fly, build my Canvas slide deck, put it over into the backside of my Trello, move it over into my website. Seriously, I can do as much from my phone as I can do from my desktop. The only reason I see I use my desktop is I'm going blind as I get older, and I need a much bigger screen. If my phone could do what my phone would be this big, right? Basically tablet size. And I miss the big phones. I miss the really giant phones. But yeah, so it is interesting, and I think that that's where a lot of people get stuck in the cycle. And what? Yeah,
Is that you?
I
Is that
know.
you?
Yeah, you laugh. When we were transitioning back to the larger phones, I had the biggest Android you could get at the time. I think this was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we were coming off the trend of downsize and downsize and downsize the phone. And now we have the trend of making them larger again. And I remember my husband had this itty bitty little phone, and he goes and picks up the tablet, or no, a laptop. And he goes, "Oh, here's Kim on her phone. Hello, can you hear me?" It's like, you
Yeah.
guys, I want a big phone. I want to see what I'm doing. I want to be able to click things and work from it. So, yeah. Okay. So, know who you're talking to, secure your information, do not spend more than you need to spend, understand your level of comfort with your technology that you're using, and don't be ashamed if it's simplified. You do not have to have all the bells and whistles unless your goal is to run a team of 20 agents, um, which there's some amazing agents out there who can do this. They're filling the void of some of the brokers who are unable to support agents. So you get these team leads in, and I've met some incredible team leads, and they have to have the bigger CRMs. But that works for them. right? Kimberly Niles is like, "Oh my god." But yes, so you know, work with I think the biggest thing is like do what you feel in your gut is the right thing. And know that there's a saying out there, if you can't do real estate, sell something to real estate agents. It's simple.
That's right.
So, by the way, everybody be sure to sign up for my magazine. Just saying. Um, hey, I did my time. 22 years.
That's good.
22 years. So, what is some parting where so first of all, tell me where a good place for resources for real estate agents, especially when we're looking at the average age 52 years old, 67% female coming into this industry. Where's some good resources aside from NAR, National Association of Realtors? If you guys aren't out there like literally stalking that site, really is has incredible content. Where are some places or that they should be looking at?
I'm going to throw my website out there
Awesome. Awesome.
as far as tech references. But yeah, you can just Google me, Burton Kelso, or just go to burtonkelso.com. I host a weekly blog and a weekly YouTube channel sharing tips and tricks. Now, they're technology related and they're for non-tech people. So if you're looking for an answer to a question that you may have about technology, look me up, because that's I mean, because I would say I've got the best of both worlds. So I've been in business, or I own a tech company, owned it for 30 years. And I don't know if you remember this, Kim. Remember when MLS was on floppy disk?
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's how we used to access. I am so old. How old are you? When I started real estate, for the first year I was in real estate, all the new listings came in a book. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
the next year, like literally 50 agents in there, like a herd of locusts. Oh my God,
Right.
what's going on? All trying to get to the new listings. Then the next year is when all of everything came out on the floppy disk. And we
Right.
thought we were so advanced. I mean, this is
Exactly.
before realtor.com, realtor.ca, before all of this. And it's crazy because at the rate technology moves, we tend to forget that this is still relatively new for tenured agents.
Right. Yeah. It's yeah, so back in the old days when agents got new computers, I had to hunt down the MLS disk in order to install it on each person's computer, so that they could log onto the bulletin board system to find out which homes were listed on MLS. So
Yep.
it's crazy. So I would, as far as resources, yes, I'm a excellent resources as far as all things tech. So if you've got tech questions and need tech answers, yeah, definitely reach out. And the only reason I say that is because I know there's a lot of technology guys who just talk over your head as far as things that you need to do. Whereas I'm going to be a straight shooter and just let you know this is where you need to go and don't go anything else. You know,
Keep
don't
it
do anything else.
simple. What is
Keep it
that?
simple.
Keep it simple, stupid? Isn't that what I don't think that's
I
actually
I
I
try to
don't
be
think
nice.
that's I don't
I
think that's politically correct anymore, but that's what
know.
I grew up with. I think my teachers would say that to me.
Yeah, I use keep it simple, silly
Oh,
instead of
keep it sim
as a
and
kiss method.
I think it was, keep it simple. Simon was another way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the kiss,
Exactly.
kiss.
The kiss method.
The
Yes.
kiss method. Okay, I
Yeah.
sorry guys. Like I said, Trailer Park from Kansas. Work with me here, folks. Work with me. So tell me, what is your definition of community?
My definition of community is when people help other people out. Because one of my favorite quotes is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. So we all have to come together to help each other out. We're all pitchers in this world. And I don't mean the baseball type, I mean vessels, meaning that we all need to learn to pour in each other's cups and others in order to help each other survive this world. Because some of us may have full cups in their Campbell's soup tea mug, and others may be empty. I need some tea. I need some coffee. So let's pour into each other and give the knowledge that we have to help others so that we can empower each other.
I cannot agree with you more. For us to get to the next level in civilization, folks, we have to be of service to each other. You have to step out of your self-serving bubble. And I know that when the markets are scary and the finances are scary and the politicians are being scary and there's all this crazy talk, it's really easy to withdraw in. But your clients are depending on you because they sell one home on average every 8 years, and hopefully you're selling at least 8 homes a year. So your leadership is, and that's why we were deemed an essential service: housing, food, shelter, medication, and education. These are the 4 essentials that separate human beings from primates. And we get to play a part in one of that. Like, what an amazing honor. So if you're coming in, from corporate America and you're not even sure how to navigate Google Docs, my sister is, super, super, super smart woman, incredible career, but she had to do something outside of her corporate space, and I had to actually walk her through that with stuff that's very standard for me within the entrepreneurial space. If you have any questions, if you have anything you're looking for, you're getting insight, just go to grab Burton's cell number off his social media and send him no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Myself.
No, reach
That's
out
like,
to Burton.
no one
Reach
can
out to
know.
Burton.
No.
But yeah, so Burton, what is a quote that helps guide you on the days that are not the best, or on days that are the best? What's a quote that you lean into?
A quote I would use, it's actually a song title, but all you need is now. Seize the moment, whether it be good or bad. Take advantage of your current situation. Don't think about what mistakes you've made in the past. Don't worry about if you're going to succeed in the future. Focus on the here and now. And what are you going to do to make the best of this moment? Are you going to, if you're live at an event, are you going to be on social media? If you're in your cups, what are you going to do to bring yourself out of that bout of sadness that you may be in and take advantage of the situation? Because realistically, all we have is this moment. So all we need is now. That's all we need.
Kimberly says, I'm going to put this is a good one. This is a good one. Kimberly, I'm so glad you're with us. Don't look back. You're not going that way. That is awesome.
Yeah, and get on LinkedIn like Kimberly is, because LinkedIn
is actually one of the top rated tools for professionals in real estate. And I am shocked as to how many real estate agents are just on TikTok. And let's not even go there. My entire team goes, you need to be on TikTok. And then they raise up the phone to record something. I mean, what the hell am I going to say? Sorry, folks. It's a potty mouth. It's an interesting morning. You're bringing it out in me. I'm coming to Kansas City, folks. The city's never going to be the same again. I spent my 21st birthday in Kansas City. That was the year all the big tornadoes hit Wichita and took out Andover, one of the Andover schools. My 21st birthday was when that came through, and I was in Kansas City having a good time in the what was it, Gaslamp District?
No, you're right. I think Crossroads is what you're thinking.
Yeah. I love Kansas City.
Was your face covered in barbecue as you were,
Oh yeah. Coming from Wichita, I went to the big city. Kimberly, you are absolutely right. Folks, don't think you have to do everything the way other people are doing it. Just do it the way that your clients, your community, and your family need you to do it. That's good enough. All right, folks, I am done. And Burton, you are awesome. You were awesome. I had such a blast chatting with you today. I'm going to remove all the guilt around all the things, all the apps that have come through my social feed that I think I need, and put that on the back burner and just focus on what I'm working on today. And I encourage all of you to do the same. I'm Kim Hayden. This is 500 Doors, where we are agent and community and client centric. You've got this. Go out there. Be awesome. Until next time. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the 500 Doors, Your Real Estate Podcast. Be sure to join our Facebook group at Real Estate Success with 500 Doors. Keep on watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, because we all know sharing is caring.